All right. So here we are live at the Cool Automation events, talking to some more experts in our industry about remote automation, cooling, all the fun things of VRF that we are passionate about here on the VRF Tech Talk podcast. I am Roman, and this is our other co-host, Donald. If you go around the room there, Robert.
Donald, Robert.
Oh, no name tag. So
Oh, poor Matt.
mystery guest number one.
Left them in the room. My bad.
So go ahead and introduce you guys. Go ahead. Tell us your name, company.
Hello,
Your
welcome.
service.
I am not, no. Name's Rob Lowry. I'm from Philly. I am the local, go Birds. Right, we can say that again because the losing streak is over. We are the local Samsung rep in the Philly area.
Okay.
My history started at Train back in '99.
Okay.
Did the Train school, all that good stuff. Spent about 8 years there. Left there, went to start our own firm. And at that time, our largest line was Hakon, which was custom air handlers.
Okay.
That was when they moved from U.S. back to Canada. So our lead times went to 52 weeks. So that was the end of that experiment. We then merged with a company in Philly called Tristate, which sells Daikin VRF. And we sold that stuff for about 8 years. And during that time, that was the one product that we weren't getting a ton of complaints about. The chillers, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I need a guy. That VRF stuff, man, it's just in and running.
Yeah.
Right. So we started looking at it, me and another guy, and we found Samsung through a distribution channel. And they're like, oh, they have VRF. So we actually started Pennergy with that in mind. So just two guys were like, all right, we're gonna make it go.
Nice.
And we built it up into, we're averaging about 15 million in sales. And then last year we sold to private equity.
Wow.
Which has been great.
Yeah.
Great.
Nice.
Yeah.
And often you hear the
Yeah. Okay.
going to private equity is the other side of that, but it's good to hear it's worked out for you.
Well, you got to have it out. At the end of the day, I don't have a son or a cousin or a brother that's in the industry. So what's your exit strategy?
Yeah.
I'm not working until I'm 90.
Just gives it to charity right now.
Yeah, that's right. So, here, Matt, here's a business. Enjoy it. Don't screw it up. What I spent the last 20 years doing.
So Matt,
So I'm Matt Holland, Pennergy employee. It's my first job out of college. Started with them right away, and it's been fantastic. Been in the Philly area my whole life. Go Birds again. But yeah, I'm salesman for Pennergy, but we handle everything start to finish. So we don't have project managers. We don't have commissioning agents.
Yeah.
We do all of that ourselves.
Nice.
So with the VRF world, it really helps if when guys call to ask piping questions or anything like that, you can just answer the question.
Great.
Which is awesome.
I love that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. It's one of those things where people forget, okay, yes, you need to be able to scale a business and scale a company, and sure, structure makes sense, right? But there's this level of over structure. It's like death by meetings where it's like, okay, we've got 1,700 levels here and nobody is getting any kind of service out of us at all.
Right.
And it's just meeting after meeting after meeting and email chain after email chain. And it's like, just go help the client. Just go fix the problem.
How about all the money spent on those meetings?
Oh my
the
gosh.
salaries. And yet you've still done nothing. You talked about doing it.
Well, yeah.
But you haven't done anything yet.
Well, we've been
gotta make a plan.
synergizing.
Yeah, synergizing.
Plan to make a plan. That's good words. Buzzwords. I like it.
We've got the game plan.
Yeah.
So for the sales process then, so you're answering the technical questions as well as the design questions.
Correct.
So it's holistic. One person is responsible for the job, or is the company responsible for the job?
So the idea was to basically have ownership, right? But at the same time, we had to figure out a way to make this look like a much bigger company than it really was, right? So how do you do that? I can't go, I don't have millions of dollars to just hire 15 techs, 15 trucks and start training them.
Yeah.
So essentially what we did is we really didn't even have an office. We had a bunch of people regionalized out of their houses. Everything COVID comes along, right? We got all this online stuff, but Philly, right? We're in Philly. So we're all an hour from Philly, but if something goes down, hey man, can you help me out and stop by and check this out? Hey, Kay, can you hop out? So my response time was within hours at well, let's not talk about names. At other companies,
at a competitor
was 2 weeks. For me to I have one VRF guy and 20 sales guys, or one VRF mechanic, 20 sales guys. It's 2 weeks before somebody get out there. Yeah. At the very least, we don't see a ton of refrigeration issues with VRF. It's mostly sensors and boards, right? That's the rub. So
voltage.
Most of your mechanics in the field, that's not their strong suit. There's, change of valves.
And to that point, you'll find that a lot of these outfits, and nothing against the rep model, but you'll find a lot of these outfits that they it's set up in a way where, you see it and you're like, okay, well, they've got the brand name right on the truck.
Right.
And so they work for the factory. And it's like, no, they just sell the equipment.
Yeah.
And okay, well, we have to have them back out to do the
Right.
service. And it's like, they only have 2 service techs, right? It's like
Right.
35 salesmen.
Right.
And so like the realistic expectation of getting a service guy with the logo on his truck to your job site, who even knows what he's doing in the first place, is extremely slim,
Right.
which is where mechanical contractors come into play most of the time. Now, there are some reps who are doing it different, and they have their sister companies with their
Their
technicians.
service divisions.
Yeah, in different markets, especially like Texas, right, where VRF is huge. And that works for them. And it's great because they can do both. They can have the sales side, but then they can kick it over to their service team and they can actually deliver to the client. Because that's what this is about, right?
Right.
You can't fix the problem and you can't deliver that service for your client. Then what are you doing, right? They're not going to be your client for much longer. They're going to go to your competition.
Fair.
Exactly.
Or somebody else. So.
Yep.
So with that being said, let's segue into our first topic, and that is how long have you guys been using CoolAutomation?
I think we started in 2016.
Okay.
We started using it. So we found it totally by accident. We did a small Samsung job for a high-end residential home, like just people who have more money that know what to do with. They were doing a Control4 integration. And at the time, Samsung had what they called a thermostat adapter, right? It was just a 24 volt to communication protocol, very
Gotcha.
basic,
Yeah.
very simple. And we couldn't get it to work, right? Because they had like 6 heads per floor, 3 floors, and just issue after issue after issue. And the Control4 guy who lives in my town goes, I found this thing online. What do you want to do? I'm like, well, I'll split it with you. Just send it over. Because the advertisement, it'll integrate to Control4, Samsung, no problem. I've never heard of this. I have no idea what you're talking about. Let's see what happens. So in the meantime, like we actually flew someone in for Korea to fix the Samsung issue, which just ended up being a silly programming issue. But we plugged it in. Worked like a champ. Like that was fantastic.
You're like, that was too easy.
Way too easy.
Way too easy.
This
Hold
doesn't
on.
happen in our industry. Usually it's like, let's put it in. Okay, now who do we call?
Right.
Like,
The firmware doesn't line up.
nope,
do we turn it on?
not even close.
Yeah,
It was unbelievably as advertised.
Yeah.
Plug in to work.
So it was 2016. That was like the original
Coolmaster
Coolmaster
net.
net. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I just found a box like 14 of them on our
With
shelves.
the old app too.
Yeah.
Well, I still have the app, and it still works.
Yeah.
The app still works.
It was a brutal app, but
It got the
it
job
worked.
done.
It
So-
sold its job. It
But
did,
again, in our market, right, in our industry, just having a product that does exactly what it says it's
Huge.
it's unheard of.
Huge.
Right? Which is
Right.
sad.
Right.
For between.
I'm not gonna sell you anything. I'm gonna show you something you're going to buy,
Yes.
and then you're gonna use it as I told you
Because it works.
because it works.
Right out of the box.
Our,
Yeah.
our first foray with Coolmaster was when they advertised that they had a Nest API integration.
How'd that work out for you?
It worked fine until Nest changed everything.
Right.
Ness is like scramble.
So
Yeah.
being in the Bay Area, like we had Nest in our office, and they were like, "We don't want to do anything. We're fine.
Right.
Our thermostat works fine. We
Right.
don't need you."
Right.
Okay.
It's fair.
Wait, and so again, that comes back down to why I think I like CoolAutomation the most. It's not because it gives us access to the data and the remote monitoring, which is the buzzword right now in the VRF industry, and having access to previous recording data for let's say years or months or whatever time it is. A lot of this comes back to just at its core, it communicates with every brand out there,
Huge.
right? And
Huge.
and so it's not saying like it's not that there's nothing wrong with the controls sold by whatever manufacturer it might be. But you have to remember that there's a lot of small fish in the VRF pond
Right.
that are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And as a service provider, having to learn those different protocols and go to a client who has a mixture of VRF on their building because they've got sold it from one person, then they changed, they sold to this person, it's relationships. That's the sales game. It's relationships.
Correct.
And so, having one device where it's like, I don't care who you bring to the table, we're going to integrate it. Right. And that is
You
a
can
game
support
changer.
it.
And that's it.
It allows you to support
Oh
all
my gosh,
the different manufacturers.
The lack of support. Someone could easily spend $100,000 on a control platform and then turn around and find out that they stopped supporting it.
Right.
And then it's like,
you
well,
have to pay so much a year
Oh,
to
yeah.
keep it going.
yes.
And that number just goes like that and that and that.
And
But like, what do you actually get out of that, right? Like, that's when my grub with most conventional BMS vendors is like, what are you updating in the controller? It's been working fine for 5 years. What are you updating?
Well, when it doesn't work,
Right.
guess what I get to do? Charge you for the last 5 years if you didn't update it.
Exactly. So like, and just not plugging the brand, but we do appreciate it. But like every time I've ever had a question or like a request, it's always been met with like kindness and like, yeah, we can work on something like that.
Right.
Well, and even if they don't know what it is, they're like, we'll give it a go.
Right.
And everybody else will be like, go pound sand.
Yeah.
Well,
And you're like, what?
So we've been using CoolAutomation since late 2010s. A lot of new features have been brought out since we started repping the platform and using it. Like the PPD, the power distribution stuff.
Which is extra charges,
when we first signed
We like
on,
extra charges.
that wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Like we went through the beta phase with them. It was like, hey, this could be better this way. And they would make the changes. They were very open to that feedback.
We're listening.
And that's huge.
Yeah.
Because they'll support it as well as they can.
Well, and that's the thing. Coming out the gate from a manufacturer's perspective, thinking that you have mastered the market and you know everything about everything, is ignorance. It's super silly, right? And things change in our market, whether it's the clientele, whether it's the equipment, or whether it's even the need from the client in our industry. And so with that, if you're not open to feedback and like, hey, and again, what you're using it for in Philly, I might use it completely different in Florida,
Correct.
right? Because our markets are different.
Right.
And so being open to that and understanding, hey, how do you want to use our product? Sure, let's do it.
Right.
That attitude alone is worth its weight in gold. Instead of being told, well, we got to talk to our product team. We got to talk to our marketing team. No, they say we really can't do it. It's going to be 2 years from now. Well, what are you trying to do? Well, can't you just buy this other product that we also sell
We already have it.
and then charge them, 5 times the amount of price for a controller when you could just buy a CoolAutomation controller that does it all? It's silly. It seems so silly.
It is.
But we're here sitting at a table in a small conference room, right? That used to be a janitor's closet, talking about things like this.
Really, I think the janitor might have, stepped it up. This is
actually kind of nice. Yeah,
This
no,
is
I'm
a
not
nice
gonna
a
lie.
nice janitor closet. He's got carpet, a
It's
door,
got food.
Air conditioning.
Pretty sure there's a Murphy bed behind the marquee here.
Don't mind the water stains on the ceiling. And so it comes back to that big question that a lot of people have too. It's like, hey, so sure, CoolAutomation plug and play, great.
Right.
But what are the other things that you haven't talked about yet that were like pain points? Because again, you guys have been with it forever. It seems
Forever.
since the beginning of time.
Yep.
I'm sure there's been some pain points that you wish that you would have known about, or maybe that's just you talking to your past self of, hey, maybe you didn't understand this fully of how to use this product the way that you use it now. Is there any kind of advice that you would give people regarding that?
I mean, it's hard to say because it really is a different product from when we started. Because again, when we first started, it was just taking your split system and putting it on your phone.
Okay.
Like nobody could do that.
Yeah.
And just like, it doesn't matter who it was. We're just going to put it on your phone and you can remotely turn it on, turn it up, turn it down. To do that in a small setting was an undertaking, right? You had to do a BACnet interface and all this other stuff.
Crestron and all this
Right.
other,
And as they've evolved, they've just made what you thought was a pain point easier. What you thought was, because I mean, at the end of the day, the selling point is now the service data, right? The whole point of why we're having this conversation is so that other people can see how people are using it. So is my VRF working? Is it not working? Is there something going wrong? Should I be concerned?
Yeah.
Who offers that?
So let me rephrase that question then. Like,
Okay.
we've all been in situations where the install wasn't stellar, or we've had problems with equipment.
Not in VRF. Come on.
No.
We've had problems with equipment that we know there's an issue, but we just can't find it. So have you been able to leverage the Coolmaster devices to get you out of those situations that are racking up compressor failures, or the word that starts with S and ends with oo comes out?
So I'll give you one that's more on the building owner side. So, we started using this as our standard building system controller, right? And we do it because it keeps us in the first year seeing more information, getting out of trouble. And we had a 300 apartment building, and the tenant was torturing the property manager, absolutely torturing them, because he just wanted to break his lease. I mean, it's downtown Philly. I'm sure it's a very expensive apartment, and he bit off more than he could chew. So what this gentleman was doing is he would leave his apartment at 8 o'clock in the morning and go to work. And he'd turn off his air conditioning. Now, this is the middle of the summer. He'd come back from work at 5 o'clock.
Brutal.
And he'd turn it down to 72 degrees. Right now, it's from 8 a.m. to 5. It got up to 80-some degrees in his apartment. 30 minutes after he got home, set it to 72. He's calling, I want out. This air conditioning isn't broken. This is ridiculous. This equipment doesn't work. So they start calling me. So I went online, took a screenshot of the graph and said, you turned it off at 8 a.m., you turned it on at 5 p.m., and at 5 p.m. it dropped 7 degrees in the last 30 minutes. You're just fine. We never heard from him again.
Oh, wow.
Right. So he was either he was paying to break his lease, but it wasn't based on air conditioning.
Yeah.
It's like, have a nice day.
But it gives you that proof where you
Right.
just wouldn't have
Validation.
had that with any other OEM controller.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing. Like even doing PPD, you get a tenant that questions their bill for the month. You can go back and be like, well, you had your heat set to 78 for the entire month. That's why your electric bill is a little higher.
Yeah.
Or, hey, why is my neighbor's only $10? Well, they didn't run any air conditioning or heating that entire month.
Yeah.
So you can go back to the property managers and prove things.
Yeah.
And that's a huge advantage.
No, I like that. And the other side of that too is even being able to show, well, maybe not in this application, but from a bigger perspective, you can show them the energy usage year over year and any tweaks that you make to the system, right? And so especially if they've had nothing but repeat failures, and you can get them to those repeat failures by being ahead of that curve, by seeing problems as they unfold. Because again, you can come into a building in a project that's had nothing but problems and it looks great.
Right.
It's only because you're in shoulder season.
Right.
And then the summer hits, and then it's like, oh my gosh, everything's crazy, and this is broken and that's broken. But you can see that eventual rise and catch it before it gets to when they lose a compressor or when the system goes down. Yeah, which is again, sure, having the information is great, but also knowing what to do with it is also equally as important.
But how often are you guys walking into a building that has comm problems? You reset the system, it runs great for the 4 hours you're sitting there, and then you leave. So you're paying for that mechanic to sit there and look at it. And of course,
hope to catch it.
Nothing happens.
Yeah.
And then he drives away. And the phone call comes in. Hey, the system's down.
Yeah.
I got nothing. You didn't see what happened. You don't know what happened.
Yep.
Again, that's where this comes into play. It actually can show us, oh, look, there's the error code. What is the error code? Oh, that means this. Let me go look at that guy. Oh, look, there it is.
Yeah, or the unit drops out, right?
Right.
Like we completely lost it altogether. And it's like, oh, wait a minute.
Someone kills the breaker in their apartment and takes the whole system down.
Yes.
It's very easy to just be like, oh, hey, apartment 309 is not communicating anymore.
It's the first one that goes out, right? And then everything goes out
That's
after that, right?
It's the one that doesn't have the error.
Yeah.
Go find that.
Yeah. Very familiar with that one.
I'm sure most of us are. That is the beauty and downfall of VRF all at the same time.
But without CoolAutomation, you previously would have had to roll a truck.
Yep.
You're sending a guy there. He's got to go through all the apartments until he finds the one that's off. Turns it back on, and now you're running.
Yeah.
I'm not going to that one as a big dog.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
No. Well,
or if people aren't home, you can't get in.
The maintenance guy's not there. He doesn't have his keys.
Right.
Like there's all these different things that add up over time that can become a huge problem. That this technology in itself, when you leverage it correctly, it negates all that. Not having to do this or do that. It's big, man. It's really big. So if there was one thing that you guys could change in our VRF industry as a whole, what would that be?
That's a loaded
It's a loaded question.
I mean, at the end of the day, the beauty and downside of our industry at the moment is it's constantly changing, right? We're constantly evolving. We have the R32 change. We have advancements. And it's just sometimes it's too fast and it's not vetted properly.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a lot of, and every time we get a Gen 1 product, we're fighting and fighting and fighting.
Information.
Well, it's information or, why is this not working? Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. It works just fine.
Yeah.
Right. So that never happens.
I've never seen that before.
I've only seen that in the Philly market. No, I don't think you have, but that's what you're going to tell me.
Are you telling me the Philly market's the only one that has this product?
Apparently.
It might be like the manufacturer's guideline book of how to deal with customers. We've never had that problem
I've never
before.
seen that before.
Oh, that's not a common
It's a pop-up picture book.
However,
4 pages.
within 3 days, I have a white paper that says this is how you fix that problem because we jumped right on it. No, you didn't. Stop it.
It's like, oh, wait a minute. There was an
2
email.
months ago.
Yeah, there was an email from the factory 4 months ago I missed, and that's what it was in it, right?
Yeah.
It was like that, hey, we found a problem, we fixed it. Oh, okay, yeah, no.
So would it be fair to say that just manufacturers being more forthcoming with information is
I think it's an overzealous wish, but that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just more, again, like the problem again with what we do is it's not made here in the U.S., right? Yeah. So the people hired to support us here in the U.S. are kind of on our level. They're not. Right. They're not getting any more of an education than you and I are. They just end up being conduits to the Japanese or the Koreans or the Chinese.
Yeah.
And that's where I think we kind of lose that speed to resolution.
Right.
Yeah, kind of like the like a whipping post, right?
What's-
or like it's,
What's that game you played as a kid, like Whisper Down the Lane, right? So
Right.
like you tell your RTSM or whatever your
Whatever you
technical
call
guy
them.
is, right?
Yeah.
You
Good
tell
call.
him something, and then it goes to the next guy, and then by the time it gets to the person that's like responsible for the programming in whatever state or country it's made in, they're like, what are they even talking about?
Right. This makes no sense. Makes absolutely no
and
sense.
they tried turning it off and on again,
Right.
to
Yes.
see if it fixes
Have you
the
Cycle
issue.
unplugged
power.
it?
Oh.
Split the breaker.
I need 1 hour's worth of data. I have 58 minutes. Nope. Got to go back again. I need
No,
1 hour.
We need 60 minutes exactly.
Yes.
Otherwise, we can't look at
That's
it.
right.
Yeah. No, it's always one of those things too, and I get it from a factory perspective because being on that side of the fence and then coming back over here to the contractor side, it's one of those things where some factories want to move to they want to maintain the rep model, but they also want to start having their own in-house service, and then they're buying companies to support that service. And I get all that, but at the end of the day, everyone still has to understand that we all need each other still.
Right.
There's this disconnection that it's like, well, okay, you're building that model, and maybe we don't like it because you're kind of edge us out of the market, but that takes time. Like you can't just stop supporting the product and push yourself to your own people, because again, it's going to make the product look even worse, which is going to hurt sales overall. And so at the end of the day, we're all still in the same market trying to do the same thing. And that's just get our clients answers and get the unit running the way it's supposed to. And if we're all focused on that together, then there's got to be some kind of, give and take here. Maybe give us a phase out plan, or we're not allowed to work on this anymore, right? The way the government does refrigerants, because that's working out so well right now.
That's doing so great. I mean, I really appreciate the government doing that to us. I was around for R22, and I will say I was hopeful that we learned. I don't think we did.
Well, no, too many
We've
people,
learned
they've come and gone between then and now to land where we are now in our market. But, it is one of those things where, as much as we would love for them to just give us all the information, there is also some things that maybe we are thankful they don't give us everything or give it to everybody in that way.
That's fair.
And so how do you vet that, and what does that look like? That's kind of playing the devil's advocate on both sides here, because there's a lot of people that I know that shouldn't have field settings or specific things that they can go in and modify because they just cause more problems, because they'll swear up and down they
Or
never
they
touched
break
anything.
they break a
Wasn't me.
unit and they're like, "Hey, it wasn't me. It
Yeah.
must have been power.
I didn't try to update the software with my laptop.
I wasn't adjusting fan speed."
Is it a water cooled unit? I can't just make it a water cooled unit. Okay, cool.
I can, but this is what happens.
It's a brick now.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah, no, it's good, man. And so from that perspective, I would say, I haven't seen anything I don't like about CoolAutomation. I'd say there's some things that I would probably want to have changed, maybe just the outlook or how I would use it. Scheduling, maybe some of the
scheduling needs an
It's
major
kind of
overhaul.
buried back there. If
Right.
you don't know where to look for it, then you can't find it. It took me a while to find it, and I was like,
And it's tough to explain to customers how to set that up.
Yeah.
Because then they go in and they try and build a schedule and it doesn't do what they want, and they're like, "Well, this sucks. I don't want to use it. Can you just build
It's
the
too
schedule
frustrating.
for me?"
is
Yeah.
it
And that's what ends up happening.
is scheduling on the Coolmaster better or worse than the OEM screens?
Worse.
It's worse.
Worse.
Wow,
Because
okay.
you have
It depends, right?
Yes.
Isn't that always the answer? It depends.
depends.
You
It
have
depends
to-
on what you're trying to do.
Okay.
Because if you're actively trying to do heating, cooling, switchover, CoolAutomation, that's in a separate section. That's
Okay.
under site management. That's the only way you can schedule mode change. And you can only schedule between heat and cool. You can't schedule dry, fan, or auto. Right?
Okay, I'm trying to. Gosh, Teams is really annoying. It just keeps opening itself.
and that schedule,
I think I have a meeting schedule. That's what it is. It knows we're here, and let's do it.
What is the use case of trying to schedule like specific dry mode? Right. What would be something that you would use that for?
so like storage facility
Okay.
or anywhere that you're trying to do mold remediation, maybe unoccupied hours, you just want to put it in dry mode.
Okay,
Or
understood.
put one of them in dry mode. As
Yeah.
opposed, you may have 7 air handlers, but overnight,
Yeah. Do you
You
want them
just
all
put
in dry
one.
mode? Yeah.
Okay, understood.
Or just being able to choose what you want to schedule. Because
Okay.
again, auto mode you can't schedule, right? Which is kind of frustrating. And your set point and on time is separate from site management too.
Okay.
That's under the remote control heading.
I
Been
got, the,
asking for master scheduler for a few years. We'll see if we ever get it.
I got the luxury of not having to deal with humidity, so that's like foreign to me.
let me help you out. It is a treat.
It is a
You want to
treat,
learn
yeah.
something? start dealing with humidity.
Yeah,
You will learn a lot of things.
Well, and it's funny because dry mode, in a way, like, sure, it sounds great, and everybody thinks it's like the solution to humidity removal, and it's like
They
it's
do.
not. It's not.
No. It's low fan speed.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
Yeah,
Low
and that's the
fan
thing. It's
speed,
like that is
cooling.
all it is.
That's all it is.
It doesn't like freeze the coil or
Nope.
like add a dehumidifier to
Nope.
the room. No, it does exactly just this. And they're
Right.
like, well, then why is the function there? And I'm like, I don't know. Like,
Because all right, I'm gonna be polite now.
go ahead.
Because not you, but you, the end user,
Yeah.
are not smart enough to realize
Yep.
that you just got to put it in low fan speed.
That's it.
So we'll give you a whole mode to force it to low fan speed.
But in the mode, you can't do anything.
Can't do
right?
anything.
And it no longer responds to set points. Either.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
That's it. We've realized that when you switch it into dry mode, you don't know what you're doing or why you're doing it.
That's right.
And so we're just taking all the
That's it.
functionality away.
But you got it.
But you
got it.
we gave it to you.
You can do it.
You can't say
You're
we didn't.
dehumidifying, sort of.
Even
Good luck.
though maybe your building is, twice oversized
Or
equipment.
you're in a
and-
giant negative and you can't ever win anyway.
Right.
Where
Yes.
you're in a tiny room and all of a sudden the grills start sweating
Yes.
because
yes.
your air is getting too cold.
Yeah, no, it all adds up. Or you've got VRT turned on for a specific brand and it has no idea
That's
what it's
one
doing.
brand, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no.
You keep going back to that Daikin stuff.
Yeah, I do. So tell me about the beauty of Samsung, right? Convert us here. Let's hear the.
So no, not going to, right?
No.
So at the end of the day, that's why we're using the Coolmaster product, right?
Yeah,
So I told you guys when we started, we got gobbled up by PE. So
Yeah.
they bought up 6 firms in Philly, right? One's the Samsung rep, one's the LG rep, one's the like TKO, other specialties. So that's the beauty. They're building out a service department for the Northeast. So why can't, now that we're all kissing cousins, I like to refer, why can't I help them support the product remotely? Why can't I shift my service over to one team that can now actively look at LG, Samsung, Toshiba, Hitachi?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because when I teach the classes, how is a VRF any different than a residential split system? Condenser, evaporator, compressor.
Refrigeration theory is the same.
It's the same. It's been
exactly
the same since what
Yes.
John Carrier, whatever his name, created it.
Yeah.
So
Same
guys
thing.
are just scared. So if we can normalize it and just take away the brand name, and
Yeah.
high pressure, low pressure, great. It's all the same.
Wait, and it's funny because usually when I ask someone that question, then they go off on the sales feature side of things,
Right.
and it's always like that. And it's like,
No,
well,
no.
you don't really
Yeah.
know the equipment that well,
Right.
Sorry, that's my fault. It's kind of a trick question, but it is that's exactly it. When I teach my guys, when I teach teams, when I teach anybody about it, or even talk about it, it's that VRF isn't breaking any like laws of thermodynamics or
Right,
physics.
It's not magic, even
it's
though we referred it to as magic.
Yeah, it's
Magic box.
Yeah.
refrigeration.
Magic black
Basic refrigeration theory, right?
Right.
We're doing the exact same thing, just on a
Right.
larger scale with some more complex controls.
That's it.
I take when I do like an owner training or something, or I'm talking to an end user and we open up that machine for the first time and they see all that copper. I say, just forget that's there, right?
Look at
Like
that.
you have a compressor, you have a condensing coil, you have condensing fans.
Right.
Nothing has changed there.
Also, don't touch it.
Right.
Don't touch it.
Don't look
Please
at it. Don't touch it. Don't breathe
Make a
on
phone
it.
call before touching
All of a
it.
sudden, there's a squirrel living there, though. and that's,
Yeah,
so the beauty of Samsung, and everybody's the same.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 error codes. Every error code means something. What I tell people is, listen, you're never going to be measuring the resistance on this board to resolder it back together.
Yeah.
Here's your problem. Let's change that out. Let's change that out. Let's change that out. But what the industry needs to accept and realize is put the gauges away and buy a laptop.
Yeah,
We have
stop talking pressures,
Right.
and let's talk saturation.
It's already there in the laptop. Why do I need the gauges?
Yes,
Are we
yes.
charging it? No, leave them in the truck.
Even if we're charging it, we're using your gauges for it, right?
Right.
You can't see anything.
You can't,
It's so
It's
many
frustrating.
guys, so many guys I've seen who have charged just based upon what they thought was subcooling at the outlet of the
gosh.
unit, and it's like, man,
I got a big one. on
no.
that one.
get ready.
We've
Here it
got
comes.
this thing called a subcooler, and it's also magic.
Why is my discharge at 100 degrees and I just added another 30 pounds to the system?
Oh man, so again, all of it comes back to information, right? And so when I teach people, when I talk about these things, we're looking at whatever service platform you're looking at. CoolAutomation, the reason I also love it is just because it takes that, and instead of looking at it in a weird format, it's consistent, right? As long as you understand what the data points mean, right? This is suction, this is discharge, this is my saturation temperature for my evaporator, saturation for condensing, right? I can get all the important information that I need: discharge, debris, suction, debris, system subcooling, stuff like that. It's the same. There is that, because we do all brands too. We do LG,
Right.
Mitsubishi, Samsung.
And you know what the worst one is to integrate?
What's that?
The D word.
Oh. I'm learning that.
That
It's
is
a lot
the
of
most difficult to do. Thank you for that.
It is a lot of fun. But so back to that is just that, you have to have this service tool and that service tool and this service tool. And then you have to make sure you have the right software, make sure you have the right firmware, and make sure that when you're hooking up to it, you understand what buttons do what. And just training alone on that is like a month-long class for all of your technicians. Or I could get CoolAutomation and just learn how to use what's there, and just relearn some names, right? Okay, so Mitsubishi calls it temp sensor 6. Okay, well, so Daikin calls it suction thermistor, right? Okay, well, Samsung calls it, whatever that is. So, yeah, there you go. So again, if you just have that, and it's funny, I was talking to the product development manager here last night, I think it was, and I was like, man, dude, if you had a cheat sheet of like what brands mean what as like a universal language across all brands, like that would be super invaluable, right? Because no one's doing that right now. Because that's a lot of things that we talk about here. It's not just about a product. So sure, the product's great. Sure, buy the product, right? And we're not sponsored by CoolAutomation anyway, but
we kind of are.
Not yet. Yeah, well, we kind of are, but yeah.
Just
Anyways.
for the weekend.
And so it comes down to like, okay, well, how do we make this industry a little bit better, right? Because we're not, super ego here where it's like, okay, we're going to change the world, right? No, we understand that we live in the industry that we have here, but how do we serve our clients better? How do we make this easier for other guys? How do we scale this with other people? And that comes down to making this just easier, simpler.
Right.
And that's what we're talking about here. And that's what they're already kind of doing. It's just sometimes, and that's the great thing about them listening, right? They're super open to it. They're like, yeah, let's do it.
Right. What can we do?
That's it. What can we do?
What can we do?
And it's like, man, I'm almost not used to it. I'm like, you're just pulling my leg, right? You want me to buy more products, right?
Go away.
You don't really care. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they'll map different sub meters for us, different air handlers, rooftop units that we've brought in, like
with speed, though.
24, 48 hours.
My gosh,
they'll map all the registers, pull it in and be like, hey, it's working.
So I think, put it in perspective, right? Since 2016 till now 2025, right? We're 11 years, and look at the differences in between manufacturers' products and what a third party has done in that same time frame, right? It's a completely different product from what it was in 2015, 2016 versus like the Daikin product is the same,
right?
Literally the same,
right? What I will tell you is certain manufacturers have seen it and they're now trying to replicate it.
Yeah.
So I see that coming,
next few years.
And that'll be where it'll be really interesting.
Mitsubishi tried for a while with like they had the Kumo Cloud, and then they had the Diamond Star Builder, like the whole BMS package, and like Daikin has their Hero, and like the problem is box. Like it's all right, and then there's
Riptide, Riptide
box,
something
right?
Tide's low,
but like
Roll Tide or
the
something.
concept was there.
So we're doing a podcast with Justin Danger with that guy.
The concept has always been there, but then like nobody's capitalized on it, right? And these guys are doing it in a small box that fits in any panel on any project.
So it's even crazier. So in Philly, we've done a lot of very high-rise residential, 25 stories, 37 stories. And even when we first were not really implementing these guys and we're using the manufacturer's integration panels, you couldn't even really integrate the panels. Right. So I'd have one panel that serves up to 11. That's one IP address. Another panel that serves, from 11 to 22. That's a different IP address. So as the building owner, and you got to look
which
at
server. Yeah. This one.
I'm looking at apartment 715. I have a problem. Well, is that what IP address is that? Is that this one? Is that one?
Browser tab. Yeah.
Here, you just
which floor do I go to? What device is it on?
Well, that's because a lot of them we instead of designing floors up, it was north, south, east, west.
Right.
So apartment 715, is that north building? Is that east building? Who knows?
Yeah.
So I mean, they've done a lot of great things, and just from where they came, it's crazy because we saw the original service platform.
Yeah,
this is rough because I had Daikin in the house, so I'm like, all right, let's go. Let me see what you can, because I'm a big fan of show me before I sell it. Right?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
Show me what you got.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, it works.
This is something.
I like it. It's got potential. Not selling it yet, but it's got potential. Yep. And then when they went to the new platform, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Well, now we're there.
Yeah.
The professional was a big upgrade.
Huge.
Yeah. No, and I love that. And especially when it comes down to just when you see something starting out like that, you kind of have to step back and say, well, they're trying.
Right.
I'll hold off. I'll wait.
Right.
Like, I'm not ready to sell this yet. But then I think some manufacturers are there right now where they're like, hey, sell our product. And
Right.
it's like, no, your product sucks.
Right.
It really sucks.
But your quota is 6 million.
Right.
Well,
So you got to move it. Let's go.
and it's like, well, why don't you just make it better?
Mm.
And
And
we
it'll
don't.
sell itself.
Well, we don't like that option, right?
Yeah,
just
no.
sell it. Just
Sell the
sell
brand.
it. Yeah,
Sell the brand.
Just that's it. Yeah, just group it all together.
Yeah.
Just shove it in the
Sell the
package
brand.
and sell them an entire package. And it's like, no, listen. At the end of the day, we're in the service industry. That's
Right.
providing services to the client.
Right.
That's not selling them products, right? We're not selling paper napkins or
Right.
tissue paper to hotels. We're selling something that they're going to have to live with for the next 10 years. And I can't tell you how many building owners I've come across in the past 10 years alone who have been held hostage by a controls contractor.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
Because they own the licensing and they have the password and the login and it's LawnWorks and nobody works on LawnWorks.
Please don't use the L word. Please.
I saw that when Fujitsu
getting-
was LawnWorks. I was like, man,
I'm getting the
that's
chills right now.
that's rough right
Yes.
there. When you were like, oh yeah,
Works project next month.
that's
Oh,
oh, do you really?
oh,
Oh no,
that's not
good.
good.
oh no, oh,
You
no.
should.
We'll check back in. No,
To be determined.
3 years from now.
but it's one of those things where it's like, listen, I'm not here to own you through a controls product. I'm here to offer you services that are going to benefit you through a controls product that, oh yeah, by the way, can be used literally anywhere on anything.
Right.
I don't have to go and buy, contemporary controls for this, and then
Right.
Dytech for that, or Distech, and all these other things. It's like no, it's all just cool automation.
Yep.
And to that point, we had an issue on our first integration, and I won't tell the story because it's pretty brutal. But at the end of the day, what mattered is that they connected me with their developers in the same day.
Right.
It was like 10 o'clock
Right.
in Israel when they were talking to them, and I was like, holy crap. Like there wasn't like weeks of emails.
Nope.
There wasn't a meeting scheduled to discuss our problem that we tried turning it off and on again. No, it was literally like them supporting the client like that. And I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like even if your product sucks, I'll still buy it
I'm
for
in.
that.
Right.
I'll
I'm
buy
in.
it for that.
Right.
And
Support's
so-
the biggest thing.
Yeah, we did
Yes.
an OEM PPD job, and the billing company was so lazy they refused to log in to download the report. It has to be emailed to them. Now, this is a building that doesn't really have a maintenance team. Like they hire out
yeah,
for
skeleton
service.
crew.
So
Yeah.
no one is competent. Not that they're not competent, but no one wants to take on that.
No one's shown
responsibility.
them, right?
Right.
Yeah.
No one wants to take on that responsibility because
They're
is
not
that your
gonna
job?
take
Is that my job? So it was already set up. It was done. Like I would log in the first month. Like here's your report. This is how you do it. Oh yeah, we're not doing that. So luckily, the meters they bought were both pulse meters and communicating meters. So we offered them CoolAutomation as an overlay. And all we had to do was just loop them together. And it turned out the CoolAutomation did not have the meters mapped. So I called the guys. I'm like, listen, what do we got to do to get this pulled in? They're like, oh, we don't have those meters pulled in. Can you buy somebody else? I'm like, I'm sorry, man. They're already installed. They're like, all right, we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. All right, you're good to go. Good to go. Pulled
Not-
it in, map
not
it.
months,
Oh,
not- not-
overnight. Because I guess Israel's like 12 hours behind.
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
So overnight, they're like, all right, you're good to go.
Yeah.
And we were.
No firmware,
Nothing.
no. Hey, wait a minute! You got to buy 2 more controllers.
Good to go.
And, yeah,
No hiccups since.
Yeah, good to
That's
go.
The other
Gosh.
piece.
Yeah. And now they get a generated email to, hey, here's your PPD usage.
yes.
And in theory, we could actually look at both the OEM and the CoolAutomation because they're both still running.
Yeah.
We didn't
Nice.
even take it down, which is
Nice.
pretty neat.
Oh, I love that. Well, I don't want to take up any more of your guys' time. We appreciate you sitting in and having a conversation.
So
with
I was
us.
told if I do a podcast, you can get me a date with Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
So
we're no,
you working on that?
she's actually going to text me back here in
Fantastic.
like 10, 15
Don't
minutes.
tell my
Yeah,
wife.
it's
Don't
fine.
tell my wife. Yes. Don't tell my wife.
No, but thank you for getting on the podcast
Yep.
here. We
Appreciate
really
it.
No,
appreciate
thank
it,
you.
sharing the knowledge.
Thanks for having us.
Sure.
It's a rare opportunity that we actually get to talk to other industry experts in different markets around other pieces of equipment that actually have a positive impact.
Talk to him every day.
So,
Sorry.
Yeah, it's not
I
good.
apologize
Yeah,
for him
no.
in advance for retrospect.
All right. Well, with that, we will end it. We appreciate you guys, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon. So.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.